Between you and your emotions, one is a master and one is a slave. The question is, who is the master and who is the slave? Who are you in that equation? Are you the master or are you the slave? Yeah. So it's good for us to know that thoughts become things. And if we engage our thoughts in those things that are not going to give us as much the reward that we want, we are investing our thoughts and emotions in things that do not that are not going to give us the rewards that we want. We're not going to be happy, we're not going to be joyous and all that. Then we need to find out where else to invest our emotions, or how to take control of that particular emotion, that particular situation. And so it's good to know that if we allow our thoughts to dwell on something that doesn't seem to feel good, that is not likely to reward us positively, we're going to get that. We are actually working for it, working hard. We are investing our all to be able to achieve that particular result. I see Star is saying, whatever things are good, are perfect, whatever things are lovely, you know that quote from the Bible. Yes, think about these things. We set our mind on things that are above. That is it. And so the question is, how then? And Georgina, you've also mentioned something very interesting and very true, that if we are affected emotionally, then the people around us and most of our children are going to pick it, and they will grow in that particular wound, which people call wound. Yes. And they will be bitter people. They will be people who are not emotionally stable. I call that emotional equilibrium. They cannot just attain equilibrium, a point of neutrality and being able to guide their emotions intelligently. No, they pick that, and that becomes more or less like their blueprint along the way, and it affects them the whole of their lives. Yeah. And recently I was discussing this. If you meet today we are talking about, in the society, people are talking about mental health and whatever, and we approach it from that clinical angle and all that. But you see, if we dig deep, we'll realize that all these things are intertwined into how we were brought up, where we live, and all sorts of things. And by the end of the day, that becomes a part of our lives. So it's important for us to get to know what emotions am I investing in what, and therefore what results do I expect. So we invest our emotions wrongly, we are going to get the very wrong results that we are scared about. We invest them rightly, we are going to get the very same results that we are happy about. We are likely to get. And by the way, I love to say that you are better off expecting the best and staying in positive emotion and get something different. At least you will have enjoyed some bit, as opposed to worrying about it and then going to meet it again. So you've suffered twice. Why not suffer, if at all, but just once? Yeah. Yeah. So there is a multiplier effect into that. The question is, as you observe yourself and activities, have you been investing your emotions wisely or unwisely? Now, the next question is, how, therefore, what are some of the tricks? Just like in investment, in other investments, they will tell you, or you will be taught, that you need to know what are the risks involved, what are the opportunities. You calculate, you do your research, you want to know the history of the company that you want to invest in, or that particular business, success rates, all those things. And there are also some degree of emotions attached to them. In this case, what are some of the tricks, so to speak, or some of the activities, some of the steps we can take to ensure that we always attain emotional control, and that we are going to invest wisely our emotions whenever we do? Yes. I know different people have different methodologies. And maybe for those of us in Kenya, you can tell us how you've been able to manage the last 1 week. If you are emotionally attached, how have you been managing? Maybe that is a hint enough. Or any other person, whether you are in Kenya or you are attached to Kenya, you have been putting this into your mind. How have you been managing so that you are not really drowned or you are really not suffocated into oblivion, desperation? You,
Good morning. How are you?
yeah, good, good. You can put on the video. You are very good in the video. Last week, somebody told me, is that Wajakoya?
Yes, thank you for this very good topic and very timely. What I'd like to say is emotional, on emotional investment is that I think everything, as we all know, revolves around the mind, the power of the mind. In fact, there's a book I read about over a decade ago, The Power of Positive Thinking, the power of the mind. What has made me, what I have decided to do in the past 1 week were three things. Number one, as a journalist, I still monitor what is happening. But instead of switching the TV on and sitting there feeling like I'm a captive audience, I switch off the TV, I put music, and I read my newspaper. Maybe once in a while, I check on the social media for any updates every 2 hours or so. And meanwhile, I go about with my daily life. Because, like I think I shared in one of my blog stories sometime last week on analysis of the election and all that stuff, we had over 11,300 candidates who are actual job seekers. We never looked at it that way, but that's what they were. That's what they are. So I said, these people look for jobs. Why should I stop my life? Because these people look for a job. My job or my role as a Kenyan and a patriotic one is to carry out my civic duty, my constitutional right of going to vote. So I go and vote, come back and go about my things. And that has really helped, because other than that, I found that those who I've been interacting with are going through a lot of stress, and they keep on asking me, as a journalist, people think when you know everything. I'm telling them, IEBC know me, but I was given accreditation to go to the tallying centers everywhere except Bomas of Kenya. So what you're asking me about Bomas, I will just be speculating. So why don't I do this? Why don't we just wait for one Wafula Chebukati to talk? What's the message I'm trying to put across is that at times we stress ourselves unnecessarily. Yeah, our emotions go up for unnecessarily because we're trying to solve something that is not within our control. So my attitude is continue with my life, keep like a previous speaker spoke, go about with your life. Well, and you can, of course, curiosity kills a cat, because like even now, just my morning walk in the estate here, I see all the cars are parked. You ask yourself, who is now wearing a tie like OPP and a suit and is in the office? Yeah? When all these cars are out here. But that one is just, I think, Darwin's theory of survival. People are feeling more comfortable being in their cocoons than being out there. But I think the most important thing for us is the power of the mind. We must control it, because if we don't, like some previous speaker also talked about the Holy Spirit and God in our lives, the devil will definitely take advantage. And he will tell you all these theories will be there of this and that and the negative stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. I love that. I love that. Yeah, one, you told us, keep engaging in your daily affairs. You find a way to distract yourself from thinking only that which is not helping you, thinking just the negative. There is that power in your thinking, and thoughts become things. That is a reality. Thoughts become realities. In fact, in physics, I don't know how many of you are physicists, But in physics, at another level, we talk about the fifth state of matter. Yeah. Traditionally, we know about the three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. But then we can move into another state of matter, which they call plasma, and then yet another, which is energy. And you realize that when you engage that energy, it is now another level, another state of matter. It ends up creating things. And that is a level where people now talk about metaphysics.